Hello friends, welcome back to my next patron video. Today I'm going to talk to you about Willow, the character that was featured in the 1988 film by the same name, Willow, and we recently had a teaser that came out, and that's why I've done this painting of Warwick Davis as Willow. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, not the painting, so you'll just have to watch it play out as I regale you with yet another sort of one of my diatribes about being an artist. So today I want to talk about hope. Hope is what Willow Ufgood, the Nelwyn character in Willow, operated through in the 88 movie. The teaser I thought was excellent. It recently dropped for the TV show, the Disney Plus TV show. For all of you non-patrons out there who are watching this in the future, this won't make any sense because the TV show might be out already, so I apologize. I guess you could go become a patron so you don't miss out on early release of my videos and then things make more sense. It's up to you. $1 a month, that's all it would take to be a part of that. Well, I suppose it'd be $5 a month if you want to see the videos. But anyway, you can see what I'm up to there, and I'm so thankful for all my patrons. So go to patreon.com/Corey Lansdell and become a patron today. Sorry, my patrons. Sorry, I have to put that in there because I'm going to start releasing these, to YouTube. So anyways, I've been thinking about this Willow movie, the movie Willow, this week as I worked through the creation of this painting, and more specifically about the character Willow. He's a Nelwyn farmer, as we know, if you've watched the show. If not, you really need to go watch Willow. It's a great hero's journey, the George Lucas film, and one of his, I guess, I just enjoy that creation, and those films just feels like part of my childhood. He was one of those characters that became inspiration for my young mind back then, and though Willow's younger, he fits alongside, like the character is younger, he fits alongside some of the other sort of archetypal characters that I find were like formative for me as a young man, or a young kid, young boy. So some examples are like Optimus Prime, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Indiana Jones, Splinter. Of course, these are all like male characters, but I guess Optimus is a robot and Splinter's a rat, or was a human, is now, anyways, doesn't matter. They're all characters that I either adopted as surrogate co-parents to my parents, or like hero figures. And I think for Willow, what I loved about him and what I loved about the film was sort of the underdog story. It's, if you're familiar with The Hobbit and you're familiar with Willow, I mean, it's quite obvious that it's probably inspired by The Hobbit. Willow is a character, he's intriguing as he goes through this adventure and journey of self-discovery. I feel like the movie does a great job of informing us right away that Willow needs to believe in himself. So like that's his character journey, is like he needs to believe in himself. And as he in the very beginning of the story, he fails at testing with the village elder wizard. I can't remember what his character's name is, but basically afterwards he asks Willow, like, well, which finger were you going to choose? And Willow's like, it's silly, and he was going to choose his own finger. And I think that is kind of what touches on what I want to talk to you about today. And like Willow's this struggling mage, and he needs to figure out how to have self-confidence, and the movie gives him tons of opportunities to develop that self-confidence, or to prove that self-confidence, that character growth, through the journey of the show. Between trolls that turn into dragons, or just trolls in general, they're terrifying, and this horrible sorceress. He overcomes all these obstacles. As I worked on this painting, I got to reflect on obstacles that we face as creatives. So this is kind of like the existential part of how I translate my experiences with story into practical application for my own journey, and I hope you get something out of this. I think that the message that kept coming back to me through working on this painting and thinking about Willow is that I need to believe in myself more, and you need to believe in yourself as a creative. And I'm not talking about like some hocus pocus way of like believing stuff into reality and you can do it and whatever you believe will come true. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about like in a tangible, applicable kind of belief in yourself. You are one variable in your life that you have the opportunity to control. So much of our lives is out of control. We have the opportunity to control how we respond to all of those things in our life that are out of control. And I mean, right now the world's in chaos, it feels like, and we have the opportunity to determine how we face those things, how we face trials in our life. We have the chance, we have the opportunity to choose how we face those things. I, by nature, am an eternal pessimist, or a realist, I guess you would call me. And, you know, every once in a while it's super important for me to stop and honestly appreciate what I have and what I've accomplished. And so this is where kind of like the belief component comes into things. I think that I need to stop and look back at my creative journey, and even like right now I'm on number 70 out of 100 of my 100 portrait challenge, which this piece that you're watching me paint right now is number 70 out of 100. And I beat myself up about it because I wanted to finish 100 last year, and I didn't. And I may not even finish 100 this year, the way the pace that I'm on right now. I still have 30 pieces to do, but I've done 70 portraits in the context of running a business, being a dad, doing all the things that I normally do. So I need to stop and appreciate that I've accomplished this, and I feel like you need to do the same thing. Sometimes it's simply making, taking this step to recognize, hey, I did a couple sketches today for no purpose other than just a sketch, or, good job that I did those sketches. You did it. You did good. They don't have to be even great, but they're done. Sometimes we have to acknowledge that it's okay to take a break and read or walk or exercise or be with family and friends, and frame things in a way that says that that's good. I'm taking time for myself. My art will be better for it. I'll get back to creating tomorrow or whenever. If we really think about it, in many ways, art is everything. Whatever we're doing, we can be working on building up our creative mindset, our creative library to be able to apply to our artwork. Like Willow, we sometimes need to remember that the power to change the world rests in our hands, in our meager little fingers. Something good can start if you're just willing to move forward, believing that you can make a difference in your own little corner of the world, your own creative practice. Thankfully, also, we're not alone. So just like Willow, we've got friends and family to carry us. Ours are a little less fantastic and crazy probably than his were in the show. And actually the new show, the teaser, looks like, it gives me serious Dungeons and Dragons vibes, which is like very much like a team-based game, and it really feels like it's going to be sort of an ensemble cast and about a bunch of characters, not just Willow. So I assume he's going to have a lot of help in whatever his adventure is. But just like him, we've got friends and family to carry us when we struggle along our way. And I just want to encourage you to not forget to reach out to your allies for help when you need it, and when you find yourself stuck or something. They can remind you of what you're doing and what you're pursuing, and even before that, remind yourself and figure out what your deep reason is for pursuing your craft. Willow had a pretty compelling reason to go on his adventure. Of course, it was saving the world. We may not be working under the same kind of compulsion, but maybe something like, I want to support my family, is your reality. That's my reality, and that really works as a reason for being pursuant of our creativity. Maybe it's just, this is how I unwind, or this is a mental health exercise for me. Those are all valid reasons. Beyond the people around him, Willow also believed in something other than his own capacities and in the people around him. It was, he believed in this prophecy of Elora Danan, the little baby who was supposed to have the power to bring down the evil Bab Morda and, save the land. And so, maybe you're like me. I have faith in something outside of my human experience. For me, it's God. Maybe you have a faith in something outside of your human experience. Maybe it's just a really devoted nature to a specific cause that drives you. But whatever that is, I believe for me, God can be instrumental in helping me grow. And that helps me with the growth of my abilities. Not only because I have the capacity to do the things that I do, but because I can, through the process of doing those things, I can ask Him for help. And I've seen that help tangibly in my own life. And it's just a good mental practice for me to be in that space, in that mental headspace, that spiritual headspace. And so this is why I love fantasy stories. This is why I love doing this art that I do through Third Age Art, is because I believe fantasy stories have the potential to encompass so many aspects of our human experience in a relatable fashion. And Willow is like no exception to that. So Willow is this great fantasy story where you see all of the fantastic elements, but the components and the nature of that story touches on our universal human truths. And I love it. And so that's why I wanted to paint Willow this week. Seeing Warwick Davis in the teaser just brought up all these memories for me of being a kid and just really, buying into the world of Willow's story. And he's like a hero to me, one of my childhood fantasy heroes. So I hope that you've found this inspiring. I've been inspired this week as I've worked through this painting and thought about these aspects of Willow. I just want you to know that, if you're a creative, I always do these things as if I'm talking to creatives, because I think that's where my heart is, right? My heart is, I just know that there's a lot of creative people out there that could use help, encouragement. So even if you're not a creative, but if you're a creative, I just want you to know I believe in you. I believe in the importance of what you're creating. And I just want to encourage you to bring light to your corner of the world through your creative endeavors. It needs you. So wherever you're at, the people around you and the community and the world around you needs your creativity. So don't shy away from that. Go forward with hope that you can make a difference. I'm really hoping that Disney Plus Willow series is good. I don't know if you've watched the teaser yet. Go watch it. I'd love to know what you think. You can comment below. Please follow me on social media. You can find me on Third Age Art, at Third Age Art on Instagram, at Corey Lansdale on Instagram. CoreyLansdale.com is my website. You can reach me on Twitter at Corey Lansdale. And I would just love to connect with everybody. And again, it would be awesome if you would consider becoming a patron and or go check out my Etsy store. There will be a link below, and you can check out my art there. So thanks very much, everybody. Until next time, everyone, I wish you all the best.